Good morning. It's wonderful to see everyone. Boker Tov and Sacharayim Tovim. Good afternoon to our friends across the ocean. I am Rebecca Gold, the Chair of Global Connections, Federation's Israel and Overseas Arm. Thank you for zooming in with us for this kickoff. I'm thrilled to welcome all of you, our friends and volunteers here in Israel and in Cherkasy, Ukraine. My heart is overflowing, and a special shout out to all our professionals here and overseas who do this work from their hearts. They are as much volunteers and donors as we are. They never stop working 24/7, 365 days a year. Thank you. The mics will be muted for the duration of the presentation, but you are welcome to stay on after the program when we will unmute everyone so you can speak with your friends and colleagues from both sides of the ocean. It will be a balagan, but it's fun. Our goal this morning is to introduce you to who we are, give you a taste of what we're up to, and share a bit about where we are headed. Staying connected to and caring for Jews and Jewish communities in Israel and in 70 countries around the world is the unique responsibility of the Jewish people. It is the promise to care for one another, regardless of our differences, that we have made and have strived to keep for thousands of years. Global Connections is Federation's way to deliver on that promise. This is not about someone else or a big organization doing this work for us. This is about all of you. You make this happen. Despite every hardship and challenge we faced and continue to struggle through, your generosity and volunteerism in partnership with our dedicated professionals got us here and will keep us going. We have hope. We have resiliency. We are creative and we have stamina. Even in the worst of times, we've got this. There are a few of our Global Connections leadership team that we will introduce this morning. Each will share a bit about what inspires them. Obviously, this is only the tip of the iceberg. So if you would like to learn more and help in any way, please shoot us an email or give us a call. We'll welcome you with open arms. Now, I would like to introduce to you our Federation Executive Vice President and CEO, Dov Ben-Shimon. You're up, Dov.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm thankful that we have a strong, stable, and proud Jewish community that cares for those in need, that builds community and saves the world every day. And I'm deeply proud of the incredible work of our Global Connections team this past month to keep us connected to Israel and to the global Jewish community. These talented, committed lay and professional teams have achieved so much in such challenging times, and they should know how grateful we are for their efforts. I also want you to know that I'm deeply excited for a new year in Global Connections with Rebecca Gold at the helm. Under her leadership, with your partnership, with all of us working together, there's so much more that we're going to do. Thank you everyone for being here today. It's my pleasure and privilege to introduce Lisa Lisser, our Chair of Leadership Development.
Now that's better. Thanks, Dov. I'm Lisa Lisser, a 20-year veteran lay leader here at Greater Metro West. My first mission to Israel was in January 2005. It changed my life. So let's start from where I was. I'd been involved for about 4 years, and I thought I knew Federation. I mean, I knew we had something called partnerships in Israel, but I didn't really know what that meant. And I knew that some of my gift went to Israel, but I didn't know how or to whom. It wasn't personal. My eyes were opened on a crazy day, which started the night before, the Erev, when we got facials and beauty treatments from women at the community center, the Matanas, in Merchavim, one of our partnerships in the Negev. The next morning, we visited Kibbutz Erez, which sits precipitously on the border with Gaza. It was Tu B'Shvat, and we planted trees there with the children in what is now the Greater Metro West Kibbutz Erez Friendship Garden. We went from there back to Merchavim and celebrated a Tu B'Shvat Seder with seniors. And then we traveled on to Ofakim and met young women in a Girls at Risk program, and then with children and Ethiopian kindergartners in an absorption program called Milim, which means words. And this program was designed to help them develop the language skills to succeed as Israelis. We visited the Igloo Art Center and the Hagiva School. And then we went off to Rishon LeZion in the center, where we met participants in Operation Atzmaut, a program with where Ethiopian families get the support to learn how to truly integrate and succeed in Israeli society. The list goes on. And of course, we saw the traditional sites, Masada and the Dead Sea. We cried at Yad Vashem, where we heard this amazing story about the reunion of a Jewish American who had been on a plane that bombed Auschwitz 60 years before, and he was reunited with an Israeli survivor who was there that very same day. I've taken 16 or 17 more trips to Israel since then. I am definitely hooked. And each time I visit, I connect not only with the people we touch, but also with the people who touch me. They have become my friends and my family. I have an Israeli daughter, Imbar, who lived with me when she was a Rishona 11 years ago. Her family is my family. So the question is why? What keeps this greater Metro West connection with Israel and overseas so strong? It's all about hope. Hatikva, the hope. Israel's national anthem was written well before Israel became a state, in 1878 in Romania, by a wandering Jew, an early Zionist named Naftali Herz Imber. He moved to Ottoman Palestine in 1882 and published the poem, which was then adapted and transformed to song by the first Jewish settlers in Rishon LeZion. The words and the melody stuck. Hatikva. It's a poem that speaks to the deep longing and memory of a land promised in the Torah. A poem that speaks to a hope that's lasted 2,000 years. And what do the Jewish people do with hope? We build. Our hope makes us resilient. Resilience is our inner strength. It's our superpower. Our resilience supports us in the face of unprecedented times. And we have faced many unprecedented times. Today, you will hear from leaders in global connections, as well as guests from afar, partners from Israel and Cherkazi, who've activated their resilience, strengthened their souls, and become connected because of our work and our hope. During this month of Elul, I am reminded of two questions God asks in the Torah. Where are you coming from, and where are you going? These questions inform our lives because they require us to look back, assess where we were, so we can navigate where we want to go. And God also asks another question, Ayeka, where are you? This call demands that we assess our status now, in the present. The work we do in Global Connections is creating blessings on the ground right now. And that's what you're going to experience today. During today's program, you will hear from the chairs of each of our Global Connections platforms. You'll hear about the hope that informs their leadership, and you will see the resilience that rises with that hope each day, every day. And with that, I am happy to introduce Faith Rakison, chair of our Israel Engagement Platform.
Thank you, Lisa. That was absolutely beautiful. My name's Faith Rakison, and I'm the new chair of Greater Metro West Israel Engagement. Last fall, I hosted a Rishonah from Rishonim 17. Our new daughter, Geffen, who was just drafted into the Army earlier today, was a natural addition to our family. Not only was it a mitzvah for us to be a local home and family for Geffen, but as all host families say, we were the ones to receive the blessing. We enlarged our Israeli family to include Geffen's. Her mother and I say we are soul sisters. That's how instantaneous the bond was between us. We also connected with the Greater Metro West Federation community. I was pleased to watch how our Jewish community embraced the Israelis who came for their year of service or for the job of shlichut. Our day schools, religious schools, host families all create such a strong network, allowing our guests to feel comfortable, all while we reap the benefits of the Israeli experience brought to us. In turn, the Rishonim learn about the American Jewish identity and take some of Greater Metro West home with them. With COVID-19 hitting and the very difficult decision to not bring a new cohort to our area was made, we quickly pivoted to a new initiative, the Israel Video Update with engaging questions and timely information, Israel Education Curriculum for grades 3 through 10, along with teacher training for our day schools, online Zoom classes from Israel for religious schools, and an Israel Fellow program for grades 11 and 12. Not only are we offering these wonderful programs to our children, but we're taking this time to reevaluate the host experience and our overall Rishon program to make sure it's the best it can be for our community and for our Rishonim. We are resilient. This is not an ideal year or ideal circumstances, as we all know and are experiencing. We have the network, resources, and most importantly, we have the desire to move forward in a productive way. And now we will hear from some of our past Rishonim.
Shalom everyone, my name is Karen and it is great to reconnect to this wonderful community, although I've never left. I'm the proud Rishonim one, and I had the privilege to get to know the Greater Metro West community before you had the G in the Greater. I'm talking to you right now from my apartment in Tel Aviv, just in the middle of Dizengoff Center and the Carmel Market, one of my favorite places in the world. So as I said, I started my relationship with Metro West 17 years ago when I was the first Rishona, back in the days when no one knew what Rishonim is all about. This amazing experience has shaken my Jewish self and made me the adult that I am today, personally and professionally. Ever since I had the opportunity to participate in many Greater Metro West programs and events, I was a counselor on a Neshama. I led a delegation to the Cherkasy summer camp. I was a dealer coordinator, and I visited the community many, many times. I'm still very close with my host family from Millburn, New Jersey, and they became my home away from home and my second family. My experience at Greater Metro West made me understand that as an adult, I want to be a Jewish professional. I want to be involved and connect Jews from all over the world and remind us that we are one big family. So in the past 3 years, I have been the director of Hillel in Tel Aviv University. Yes, we have Hillels in Israel too. Our goal is to expose Israeli students to meaningful Jewish experiences and to share with them about the values of Jewish pluralism and Jewish peoplehood and connect them to the global Jewish people. In both my Hillel hat and my Greater Metro West alumni hat, I'm happy to share with you that during these days I'm working on an exciting project called Kehila, community. We're establishing a community of young adults that are part of the Greater Metro West Global Connection Network. I have great help from other Greater Metro West program alums and some who grew up in the community and made Aliyah or grew up in Cherkasy and made Aliyah. We have a small group of young adults and together we are working on forming Kehila. Our goal is to engage as many young adults in Kehila and create a community of action. We want to leverage the great minds, hearts, and hands of the people that we know are part of this amazing network. I hope to connect as many young adults to Kehila and create meaningful opportunities online and on life. May this year be full of great, meaningful global experiences. when we will have hope in our hearts, and may we will create hope for others in the community and outside of the community.
Hello, everyone. Shalom from Tel Aviv, too. I'm glad to be here today. I got connected to the greater Metro West community when I got to New Jersey as a Rishon in 2010 and 2011 as part of the Rishonim A delegation. So Karen, she's our mentor. Along with me were two other great Rishonot, you may know them, Michal Kfir and Gal Defadi. Gal, she just got online at the moment. Gal is the girl who I met in New Jersey, and now would be my future wife very soon. Actually, very, very soon. In just 5 days, we are getting married, and we are very, very excited. Just at the moment, she's trying on her dress, so everything is very, very quick. As you can imagine, Greater Metro West community plays a very meaningful role in our lives, both as individuals and as a couple. Thank you everyone for the Mazel Tovs. They are so excited. As a Rishon, I was so lucky to stay with the Gold family. Since that year, Rebecca, Mitch, and Jamie became part of my own family. Rebecca, who I can also call her my mom on the other side of the ocean, plays also a very meaningful role in my life, and I keep her posted about every step I take. When I finished the Rishon year and joined the army, and later when I started law school. Now when I just finished my internship in the state attorney office and about to start preparing for the bar. The Greater Metro West community welcomed us with open arms and hearts as young Israeli teenagers, as formed our Jewish identities. The richness and the variety of that community has instilled in us humanistic Jewish values that remain with us up until these days. One recent example is actually right now when we are preparing for our wedding ceremony. We get a lot of inspiration from the kind of Jewish ceremonies we took part in the Metro West community. So during these difficult times of a global pandemic, our hope is that we shall overcome, as the song says, and things will soon come back to normal. As for me and Gal, after a decade we are getting married, a decade together. Despite the challenges of planning the wedding during times of social distancing times, we hope to make our wedding come true. Thank you, everyone.
Toda rava, Amitai. We love you.
Love you too. Where is Gal?
She's on, she can hear. And Safta Dabush is on too. She loves you too.
Hi, thank you, Amitai and Karen. It was so great to see you and hear about your experience. My name is Julia Malaga, and I'm the incoming chair of the Negev platform, formerly known as NEGBA. Last year, I chaired the Kedma Shared Society platform, and the year before that, I was the chair of the Arab-Israeli subcommittee. My journey with Federation and Global Connections began in 2014, when my daughter Rachel became a Diller Teen Fellow. One weekend after a Shabbaton, Rachel asked me a very fateful question. She said, "Mom, is it true that not all Jews consider me Jewish because only Dad is, and that I cannot marry a Jewish man in Israel?" Wow. It was on that day that I decided that it was time to finally become the Jewish mother that my children deserved. I decided to pursue formal conversion after 20 years of marriage to a Jewish man, which I had been contemplating since a very transformative 2012 trip to Israel. So in 2015, I took a vow that my destiny would be forever bound to the Jewish people. With 2 Jewish children and a Jewish husband, it already was. As a convert to Judaism, I don't have Jewish roots, I have Jewish branches. And I made that commitment based on my hope and belief in the Jewish people. I began my work with Global Connections in the Shared Society and Jewish Pluralism area in honor of my daughter and in memory of that heartbreaking question she asked me that day about her Jewish identity. After 6 trips to Israel, 2 of them with the Peoplehood program, I found my heart in the South, in the Negev, and became inspired by the hope and resilience of that dry and hot paradise with all of its unique challenges and opportunities. So I guess my connection to Judaism was strengthened by my experiences with Israel. It was there that I connected to my lifelong friends in the Negev through the Peoplehood Program. Living in the Negev as a family member, not as a tourist, was life-changing. I woke up in a bomb shelter every day, and I saw bullet holes in kindergarten buildings. I saw new homes being built in Sderot. I saw children playing in parks. I saw people going to work and getting coffee right where rockets fall from Gaza on a regular basis. That changes a person's perspective. It was alarming, but it gave me so much hope. In our Negev platform, we build connections and living bridges to our family in Israel. We support programming that joins us with our partner communities in the South, programming that builds community and strengthens peoplehood and Jewish identity. We are truly nurturing Jewish resilience in our work because we are only stronger if we build together, Israelis and Americans, as one diverse and united family. We will now share a video with Rosh Hashanah greetings from our partnership communities in the Negev. We will then hear from Hila Tzaki, the CEO of Arad's Economic Development Company, as she brings you live to our partner community of Arad to hear the musicians at the Arad Conservancy, a beautiful music program that came to life with the support of our Women's Philanthropy Division.
במרכז אישה, מועדון ניצולי שואה באופקים, מברכים אתכם שנה טובה וחג שמח. תודה רבה.
מרים שדה ממבוך מרים במושב ניר משה במועצה אזורית מרחבים. אני מברכת את המטרו-ווסט, כל חבריה, לחג שמח ושנה טובה וכל מה שרק אפשר.
שנה טובה ומתוקה כמו הדבש, ממנו קיבוץ ארז, מחברת, אוהבים אתכם.
Friends and families of Greater Midwest, hi, it's Nissan Ben Chamo, the mayor of Arad. I hope this video finds you well, healthy, and happy. You know, on September we will celebrate the Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year. I want to wish you all Shana Tova. I really hope that we will have a year of prosperity, of partnership, and we will keep working together in promoting both communities in Metro West and Arad. I wish you Shana Tova. We love you.
everyone. I'm Ilat Sachi and I'm from Arad. And I'm also Gaia's mother. For those of you who don't know, Gaia was a Rishona in Greater Metro West Federation. She was in Rishonim 15, I think, like 3 years ago. And together with me also is Hen. So we are so excited to be here with you. I will first thank you Greater Metro West Federation, thank you Women's Philanthropy for helping us in renovating this music center and the home for almost every kid in Arad. 5 years ago, we had only 60 students here, and we could accommodate only 100 students here. And you know why we had only 60 students here? Because it looked like a bomb shelter. Nobody wanted to come here. And today, we have around 300 students in this place, which is really exciting. And it's all thanks to you, to your support. You helped us to renovate and to turn this place from a bomb shelter to a lovely place, to a gorgeous place. So look around, come with me and look around. What a gorgeous place you made. And it's really thanks to you, to your support. Just look, really. And believe me, it was bomb shelter. And now I want also to say special thank you to the Markel and Weinstein families that actually initiate this project. They gave us the seed money for this huge project. And now we will go to the real thing, to the big surprise, to the kids.
I want to give a special shout out to Lions Leap from Women's Philanthropy for doing such a tremendous job helping to renovate this conservatory. Thank you so much. Now we have Carol Simon.
Hello, good morning. I'm Carol Simon, and I have been one of the co-chairs of the Israeli Arab Committee. Then I was the chair of our Jewish Diaspora Platform, and I currently am the chair of our Shared Society and Jewish Pluralism Platform, formerly known as KEDMA. And whereas the Negev platform, which you just saw, deals with specific communities, we partner with Israeli organizations on a national scale. Who are we? We are your voice in Israel, the voice of the greater Metro West community. We partner with organizations throughout Israel, promoting a pluralistic Jewish and democratic state. About 15 years ago, as a volunteer with the Holocaust Council of Greater Metro West, I spoke at an educators conference at Yad Vashem in Jerusalem. I spent a lot of time before and afterwards walking through that most powerful museum. At the end of the exhibits, you come to a window which looks out on the vibrant, green, blossoming vista of Israel. Anyone standing there can't help but feel deep down inside the profound, incredible hope and resilience that is Israel and the Jewish people. As the former chair of the Diaspora Platform and as the present chair of the Shared Society and Jewish Pluralism Platform, I am empowered by that feeling today. When we work with our partners, helping to create a greater, stronger, more inclusive Israel, I feel that same joy, that same hope and resilience in our Jewish family, both here and in Israel. We will now see a video from a recent visit to our Horfesh partner community. Horfesh is a Druze town in northern Israel. The Druze are an Arab religious ethnic minority who are very loyal to Israel and serve in high positions in the Israeli army.
Hi, I am Ruth Margolin. I'm the chair of Jewish Diaspora Communities, also known as YAMA, the platform of global connections that addresses the needs of Jews around the world in countries other than Israel. We often hear Kol Yisrael Arevim Zeh B'Zeh, all Jews are responsible for each other. We repeat this phrase so often because the Jewish community is truly unique. We share a history, we share a future. Another Jew around the corner or around the world is on some level actually my cousin. I find this profoundly powerful. But for the flukes of history, family, and immigration patterns, I could easily be the one in Latin America or the former Soviet Union. I feel part of something large and meaningful, spanning centuries and continents. So we reach out to our cousins around the world, making sure that we, as American Jews with status, freedom, affluence, education, and open access to our history and culture, help our fellow Jews who have fewer options. We work through our partner agencies, primarily the Jewish Agency for Israel and the Joint Distribution Committee, to help build Jewish culture, educate the next generation, and take care of the vulnerable who lack a safety net in their own countries. So whether it's a JCC in Argentina or a Chesed Community Center in Ukraine, the goal is the same. Where Jews are building Jewish life, we are eager to partner with them and support them. I traveled to Cherkasy, Ukraine a few years ago, and I saw the situation for myself. This is a small city where we have a special Greater Metro West partner relationship. The older Jews of Ukraine have survived the Holocaust, followed by communism. Being Jewish only brought oppression to their lives, until now. Now it brings community, culture, friendship, holidays, food assistance, and medical care, simply because they are Jews. Communism promised them that they would always have their needs met, but with its collapse, they were left with absolutely nothing. And now, if they have food, medicine, firewood, or maybe even an indoor toilet, it's because of the Jewish support network. And the young Jews of Ukraine are discovering Judaism anew. Their parents have little to teach them, so they learn about Jewish life from camps and youth programming, and then they teach their parents. We're seeing the resilience not only of individuals, but of our whole Jewish culture. If it can't be transmitted from older generation to younger, then Jewish life will be rebuilt upside down, young teaching old, and it's thriving. You can imagine how inspiring all this is. We in New Jersey who hope that our next generation won't casually toss away their Jewishness through neglect or apathy. Look in awe at young people who value it so much that they are willing to take the lead in rebuilding Jewish life nearly from scratch. These are my long lost cousins, and I feel privileged whenever I'm lucky enough to meet them. Through global connections, we at Greater Metro West reach out to our cousins on a regular basis. We do our best to enrich their lives, and they in turn enrich ours. We're lucky enough to have one of these connections with us right now. I'm thrilled to welcome Lena Pistina, who is a longtime activist and leader in the Cherkasy, Ukraine community. Welcome, Lena.
Hi. Hello, everyone. I'm so happy to see familiar faces. We're starting to say about how we got into Greater Metro West. My path started in 1998 when I was 12, and it was a bar bat mitzvah. And from both perspectives, I started my journey with Greater Metro West, growing together with Greater Metro West as from a Judaism perspective and from the physiology. And it started from our first summer camp and family camp. And when I was 12, I loved it so much that now I'm like 34. It was 22 years ago, and I'm still in the camp as another participant. And unfortunately, this year was the first time since 1998, and I hope this is the last one due to the pandemic situation that we couldn't have the organize the camp. But we for the past years we always hoped that the camp keep growing. We hope that families start joining Jewish activities. We started the family camps, and now as in 90s we really started to pass Jewish tradition from children to our parents. And now after 22 years, now we have that children grown up, and now they bring their children to the communities. And we do hope that we will continue growing as a Cherkasy community, we'll continue growing as a global community, and we'll continue growing as a big Greater Metro West family, because now when you're asking kids who were in a camp where do you want to go in Israel, they are not saying Jerusalem or Tel Aviv. They're saying we want to visit Ofakim, Arad, Rishon LeZion, because we have friends and family there. And of course, we are following everyone in Facebook, and wherever you move to Tel Aviv or Jerusalem, we definitely want to visit all of you. We hope that the pandemic situation will be resolved and we could have the opportunity to meet everyone here in Cherkasy, in our camp, and build all the activities together. And we're happy that right now we all have the opportunities to connect with the internet and see each other, even sometimes more often than we had this such calls previous years. Thank you very much. You're so welcome to Cherkasy once everything is fine.
Oh my goodness, Lena, thank you so much. I'm a little verklempt. Thank you all for your beautiful stories of hope and resiliency. I have to collect myself. Now for the quintessential symbol of hope for the Jewish people. If you would like to rise, please do, while our own Lisa Lisser leads us in Hatikva.
Oh Lord, balevav penima, ayin letzion Sophia, ufate mizrach kadima, ayin letzion Sophia. Od lo avda tikvatenu, hatikva bat shnot albayim, liyotam chofshi be'artzenu, Eretz Zion Yerushalayim. Liyotam chofshi be'artzenu, Eretz Zion Yerushalayim.
Thank you so much, Lisa. That was beautiful. For those of you who know us well, you know that we actually fight over who gets to sing Hatikva. So I thought, because I'm chair, I'd give her this one. Beautiful, Lisa, brava. Thank you all. I am so proud to be doing this work with you and on your behalf for our community. For more information about Federation, please visit our website at www.jfedgmw.org. Also, we are at the start of our 2021 UJA campaign, so please accept our heartfelt thanks for your unwavering support and generosity. We are resilient, and I hope that together we go from strength to strength. Thank you so much for being here this morning with us. L'shana tova. You will all now be unmuted, so if you would like to stay and visit for another 10 minutes, please do.
Shana tova, everybody. Beautiful.
Shana tova. Wonderful.
Shana tova.
Elegant
Rebecca.
Sorry I was late, Rebecca.
Wonderful program.
Terrific. Thank you.
Thanks.
Fabulous program.
Thank
you.
Bye, Rabbi. Bye,
Linda.